Hey everybody, it's me, Teresa Palavoda. I just wanted to go over a few things that we've studied so far this semester and give you sort of a heads up as to what to expect now as we go further. A couple of things, let's see, we've talked about the cult of true womanhood, and you guys did great on your responses to that. And those are the 4 traits of what society deemed would be a perfect woman. And of course, you have to remember that all of this is made up by a random person who just thought this would be a good idea. And then society jumped on that bandwagon, so to speak, and agreed with it. And that is the 4 traits of being submissive and domestic and pure and pious. And those 4 things are what, women were held to that certain standard, and then if you couldn't make that standard, well, then you weren't quite a true woman. And then really, we can treat you any way we want because you're not a true woman. And then we talked about Sojourner Truth and how she started out her life and as Isabel Baumfree, and then was the first African-American woman to actually sue a white man and win in the court system. You guys did great on your responses for Sojourner Truth. And and how she changed her name because she believed that God spoke to her and told her to go out and sojourn, meaning take a journey, meet people, tell them about Him, meaning God, but also talk about being an abolitionist and a suffragist, and how she believed that women should have the vote and were just as capable as a man. Now you're working on Harriet Jacobs, and she's a woman who lived in her grandmother's attic or lean-to room for 7 years, waiting until the right time to escape. She didn't want to leave her children, but then she needed freedom and that kind of thing. So she's the first African-American woman to write her own slave narrative. So not the first slave narrative, but the first woman to actually write her own slave narrative. And you guys are working on that now. Next will be Booker T. Washington, who is famous for Tuskegee and Up from Slavery is his book. Some of the things he discussed were, and you'll read about this, but basically the idea that he was kind of okay with segregation and said, let's not worry about political issues now. Instead, let's worry about taking care of our own selves and getting our own money, learning a trade, doing what we can, and then we will worry about those other things. And so I'm going to stack him with W.E.B. Du Bois, who was sort of like, no, if we don't fight for our rights now, we'll never get our rights. And so really pushing the idea of the talented 10th, and he was one of the people who started the NAACP and really thought of the importance of equality for African Americans at this time. So that's where we are right now. I hope everything is going well. If you have any questions or comments, or reach out to me. My office hours are posted. You can always come by and see me, or send me an email, or text me. Whatever you need to do. I think so far the semester's going pretty well, but just in case, wanted to touch base as personally as I can with an online class. Some of you have asked why I'm interested in African American literature, and my degree is in Southern and literature and also minority literature, and that primarily is African American literature, and it's just the literature that spoke to me. I talked to my major professor and about it, the fact that I can't speak of culture because I'm obviously not Black, but I can talk about what's going on in the literature, and then that's why your feedback is so important in discussions, because if you're a minority student, a person of color, then you can bring to the table so many other things that people who are white just don't understand, and you've got to bring that cultural response. So I appreciate all of your responses in the discussions, and I hope you have a really good week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.